Alright, so I'm still sitting in the Subaru. As I said in another video, I'm going there and cleaning stuff out and finding bits and pieces and mementos from jobs I've done here somewhat recently, at least this season, last couple of months. So this is a piece, you can read this, you can read the label on it. PW pipe, 3/4 inch, IPS 200. It's at 73 degrees, standard dimensional ratio 21. So what we normally call this is class 200. And you can see it's not a straight piece of pipe. This is thin. Some people might call it a thin wall pipe. It's not schedule 40. It's not, 200, class 200 and schedule 40 most common sizes. But the big thing about this is it's got a kink in it. This came off a residential property. They were doing some plantings. The other end of it's shattered, as you can tell. And then this end is kinked. And the reason, broken pipes, pretty common stuff, catastrophic break. But the reason I want to talk about this is it's kinked, and if, you could repair this pipe, the other end of it, and all of a sudden, you get a pressure problem because we have a restriction, to water. Now, and I've seen this happen, when I worked for one of the large national corporations as an irrigation manager at a large HOA, and we had one particular zone as, the front yards of some, they're, how do you put it, production homes. And we maintained the front yards. All the irrigation in the front yards was done on the HOA's pretty much system. We maintained all of it. The zones would run across 3 or 4 or 5, 6 houses, 2-inch valves. I'm guessing a 2-inch main line, but I don't know for sure. I don't think we ever did a main line repair. But we had one particular zone that, I'm guessing that we probably had 40 spray heads on it, just standard sprays. And from one end of the zone to the other, we were losing pressure. And it was around the corner, and, the heads weren't PRS. And so, there's a chance that, if you're, if you're seeing uneven pressure through a zone and the heads aren't PRS, that could be part of the problem. That, if we pressure regulate the heads, we can send more flow and boost the dynamic pressure on the other end of the zone if it's not laid out properly, which in this case it wasn't, just a straight shot one side to another, 300 feet of lateral. But what ended up being was a kinked pipe right along the sidewalk. I think it was near a fire hydrant, and they dug it up. I've found even main lines that are kinked. Believe it or not, even under constant pressure, they immediately don't fail. I'm not going to say they won't fail, but in what I've seen, they didn't fail. And so, I think in our case, we found that there was just one area we could tell that, from one head to the next head, going around, I think it was a fire hydrant, that there was a pattern on the fire hydrant sticking out from the sidewalk, that we were losing a lot of pressure, and we found the kink in it. I do a lot of troubleshooting with pressure problems. The other day, I found a broken pipe in a drain, not necessarily a drain field, but near a drain line. Generally, something like this would show up something like this, you could either, in a situation, the best way I'd put it is, I always ask people, when they start having problems, what has changed? And if they've been there long enough, they can, generally talk about, different changes that happened. Maybe there was a tree that was pulled up. If there was I don't know, maybe a concrete truck got driven over the lawn and, and they left a bunch of ruts, and maybe this got, was under one of the duals and it, bent over, kinked under the load. Things like that, so that you have a direction of knowing where to go. Other than that, sometimes, we have to start nozzling down heads, capping heads, and then seeing what the pressure does. Now, in a case like this, we'll get full static pressure because we won't see the restriction under no flow. We see the restriction under flow. And, we can go through and, sometimes this will isolate off to one side where, we just can't get any pressure, and then we have to basically start digging and looking, whether it be, say, a reducing T or seeing where it changes. So this stuff can be really crappy to try and troubleshoot. I'm glad, I'm really excited to kind of talk about this because we don't see it a whole bunch, but it can be very frustrating if you bought a house and I get a pressure problem, one of your zones has a pressure problem in one half of it. Maybe this is a tree root that slowly happened, that's slowly getting choked off by a tree root. You know, and then generally this creates a lot of sound too. Depending on how much flow is going through there, sometimes you can hear the restriction of the water trying to get just kind of screaming trying to get through this. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe. If you had a similar story, post it below. Get pictures, etc. So thanks.